Ahora te vas a sacar quieta, ¿verdad?
Suena un teléfono.
No, eso fue como una alarma, supongo. No fue un teléfono. ¿Qué clase de teléfonos tienes tú que suene como...
No, suena...
No,
¿No lo
no lo
escuchas?
escucho. No.
Mira, suena. ¿Es esto?
Me sorprende que lo hayas escuchado, pero no lo había escuchado yo.
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today.
Ajá.
We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar,
Let's check it.
some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
Venga, un placer.
Era tu mujer.
Ah.
O la mujer del escritorio. Creo que era para que sea la mujer del escritorio.
Hombre, tendría más sentido, ¿no?
Y si no era, pues de todos modos te pidió que le hagas la compra.
No apetece.
Vale. Ahora si quieres, sí puedes ir a hacer el final de no desconectar el teléfono.
¿Cómo que no desconectar?
Del otro teléfono, el de la habitación.
Ah. No sé, lo he cerrado.
Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that.
Ah.
No.
Sí soy.
This couldn't go anywhere except badly.
Supongo.
The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait.
Ah, pues espérame.
Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me.
Venga.
In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy.
Happy.
Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by?
Ay, me voy a
He
morir
no
aquí,
longer had the
chats.
ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come.
¡Claro!
Eventually, someday, they would arrive.
La muerte
Soon,
llegará, está claro.
very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do.
Claro.
Now it's just a little bit closer.
Sí.
Now it's even closer.
Sí.
Here it comes.
Y se murió. De viejo. Estupendo.
Para lo que te decía, el teléfono era lo que íbamos a hacer antes de darnos cuenta de que aún seguíamos en el mismo final. ¿Te acuerdas? O sea, lo de desobedecer, pero contestar el teléfono.
Ah, verdad, sí.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others. So the thought of total
Eso ignóralo ahorita,
solitude was
porque eso es de lo que agregaron en este remake, para que no te mezcles tanto.
Ah.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Claro.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art.
Es azul, muy
But
bonita.
eager to get back to business,
Sí.
Stanley took the first
Tengo
open
muchas
door
ganas
on
de
his
seguir
left.
hacia adelante. Y como he dicho, hacia adelante.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in
Sigo
someone
sin
else can
fiarme
be
de ti.
difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself.
Yo tomo
I'm not
mis
asking
propias
for me,
decisiones, viejo.
I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley.
Que te hubieras caído porque uno llegara a la
plataforma. To put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
¡Esposa!
That's her, Stanley.
¡Hola! ¡Cariño! Esto no me gasta. ¿Dónde?
Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
Ah, Nachi.
All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I
Uh-huh.
want you to come in and tell me all about
Your day.
Gotcha.
Oye, cabrón.
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife? They want to commit their life to you. I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
¿Qué?
Sorry,
Oh,
but
puta.
you're immense.
Ok, no sabía que podía hacer eso.
Yo es que no le he hecho caso y no sabía dónde tenía que ir, pero bueno,
Lo de
aparte.
la esposa sí, lo de la pared no.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Ah, porque me voy a morir. Gracias. Buen empleado. Oprime. I.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Ah. Oprime. L.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now
¿Dónde?
he's
Yo no,
going
no veo
home.
comida.
Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Ah, sí. ¿Y si no promueve, qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? No quiero hacerte caso. ¿Qué te pasa? ¿Va a decir algo o no va a decir nada? Hola. Señor. Estoy oprimiendo otro botón. Ah.
Ese fui yo.
Ah. Bueno.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Y yo que pensaba que no podía haber una persona más pálida que yo en esta vida. Mira esta. Impresionante. Ah, M para ver la tele.
And so he began to fantasize.
Ah, pues ya no hay tele.
First,
Ni siquiera me deja disfrutar un poco de mi vida.
that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the
Pues
earth.
cosas que pasan.
The thought excited him terribly.
Pasar tiempo con los chicos. ¿Qué chicos?
So he went further. He imagined that he
No
came
tengo
to
esposa,
two
tengo
open
novio,
doors
entonces.
and that he could go through either. At last, choice.
Ah, nice.
It barely even mattered what lay behind each door.
Ah.
The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Nice. ¿Qué? Ah, la cena.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations.
Ah.
Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls.
Control
Down
mental.
another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions, and down another was a game with a baby.
Uy, un
And he
bebé.
called it the Stanley Parable.
A mis
It
niños.
was such
Tengo
a wonderful
hijos con un
fantasy,
maniquí.
and so in his head he
Guay.
relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's
I
an answer
want
down
to
some
be
new
free.
path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if
I
he played
want
just
to
one
be
more time.
free. Na 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 na, te quiero
But there is no
guapa.
answer.
Se
How could
convirtió
there
en una
possibly be?
mesa.
In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he
¿Cómo
spends
que nada ha
here, the
cambiado?
more
Mi mujer se
invested he
convirtió en una
gets,
mesa.
the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Buenas noches.
And I'm trying to
Get
tell
it.
him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't
Muerte.
listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this.
Okay.
Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Vale. I want to be free. Na 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 na. I want to be free. Se convirtió mi mujer en una mesa.
Qué triste, ¿no?
Sí. Bueno. ¿Vas a decir algo? Ok, me has dicho que no presione, pero no me vas a decir nada. Si no me dices nada, pues yo voy a presionar esto, porque no voy a estar aquí 80 años esperándote. Señor. ¿Está? Pues le voy a dar.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
No puedo. No ves que no veo ni mis pies ni nada cuando tal. ¿Cómo mierda? A ver. ¿Puedo salir? No. Yo me cuestiono mi existencia cada minuto, cada segundo. ¿Por qué vivo? ¿Por qué respiro? ¿Por qué existo? ¿Qué soy? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué no podía nacer millonaria? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué?
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley.
No.
We're not so different, I suppose.
Parece.
I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
¿Y me morí? Supongo. Sí. Nice. Chachi. Veamos. Si ve abajo es uno directo. Arriba hemos hecho lo del escape.
Ya sabes, si quieres alguna pista, nomás yo te puedo decir como el primer paso, como dónde empieza la ruta.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Vamos a mirar
Stanley decided to
cosas.
go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't
Aquí
find a
adentro es un
trace of
ordenador,
his
creo.
co-workers.
Apagar. Apagar. No sé qué he hecho ahí. Pero parece que he hecho.
¿No tocaste el teclado?
Creo que sí.
Ok, pero igual no deja poner nada más.
No, no me deja poner nada más. Debe estar de las puertas.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Ya.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following
vamos
directions, it's
ahí al
incredible he
fácil.
wasn't fired years ago.
¡Lego!
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
¿Y se murió?
Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very
Sí,
powerful.
soy súper poderosa. Power.
Eso no es saludable, Stevie.
Power.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
¿Eh? Yo sigo apagando aquí cosas. ¿Qué pasa? ¡Cállese, señora! ¡Que se calle! Gracias por mandarme a callar. Muy amable. Apago. ¡Ué! Ahora hay 2. Y ha cambiado de ordena. ¿Qué es esto? Pues vamos para atrás. Habrá otro ordenador por ahí otra vez que haga cosas. Me tengo que estar matando para hacer eso. Vamos a matarnos otra vez. A ver.
Stevie, no.
¿Por qué no? Si está avanzando. Antes solo había 1, ahora hay 2. En el input resize ese. Vamos a
Sí,
matar.
pero me imagino que será más bien de haz un final y cuando vuelvas saldrá. No creo que sea específicamente el final de tirarte.
Ah,
When
pero
Stanley
es
came to a
rápido,
set of
¿sabes?
two open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly
Vamos a
well.
morir otra
Perhaps he wanted to
vez,
stop
porque
by
es
the
rápido.
employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley
En
felt
todo caso, no es más
lightheaded,
fácil entrar
butterflies in his stomach.
a la pausa y
But
darle a
eager to get
reiniciar.
back to business, Stanley took the first open door on
Ah,
his
podría haber
left.
funcionado. Bueno, ya estoy aquí.
Stanley was so bad at following directions,
¿Qué pasa,
it's
pato?
incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
¡Morí!
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in
Qué
control
divertido
of
es
the story
morirse.
and no one gets to tell him what to do,
No le hagan
Stanley
caso a
left
nada de
from
lo
the
que digas,
platform
tío.
and plunged to his
Sí,
death.
no soy buena influencia.
Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Soy muy poderosa. Muy poderosa. A ver.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the
Apagamos.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Y ahora apagamos este. Y ahora no se enciende ninguno. Con lo de loco. Ah, no. Vaya. Qué decepción. La verdad. Decepción. Me compré una conejita si quieres ver la vena videojugadores. ¡Te has comprado un conejo! ¡Conejo! ¡Qué bonitos son los conejos!
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Ya, pero yo quería lo de los ordenadores, ahora no se sale. Los conejos son tan bonitos. Aunque dicen que dentro de poco con la ley esta que luego ya la gente no va a poder tener ese tipo de mascotas. Va a ser triste. Fajita, me gusta el nombre. Mola el nombre. Pues
Te digo que hagamos un final real y a ver si ya te sale el... Quizás sale de forma aleatoria esa computadora.
puede ser. No sé. Ahora no se me ocurre cuál hacer. A ver, vamos a seguir para adelante. A ver si había otro camino que no he hecho. Porque creo que cuando sigues el final había una zona de
When Stanley came
botones.
to a set of two open
Después de hacer
doors,
las
he
cosas.
entered the door on his left.
Había
Yet
como
there
en
was not a
la
single
zona en la
person
de salida.
Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Había
Stanley
botones y no sabía
decided to
qué
go up
hacer
to
con
his
ellos, pero
boss's
vamos
office.
a ver
Coming
si
to a
puedo hacer algo con
staircase,
ellos.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
A ver si hago algo con ellos. Porque sé que aquí hay un váter. Yo lo he abierto y no ocurrió nada. O sea, leí que aquí pasaban cosas de dinero y cosas, pero no sé. Ahí está ahí a lo tonto. Y luego está el bucle de eso.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by
Vale,
now. Blah, blah,
esto
blah.
era-
Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill
¡Ah! ¡Gracias! Piano perdorro de este juego. No hace ni un sonido. Oye, esta vez estamos yendo rápido a esto. Eso
Me hace
gusta.
gracia cómo todo evolucionó lo primero que pasó de un piano que se te cerrara a un piano que se cerrara sin que lo tocaras a un piano que no te deja tocarlo. Increíble.
Piano pedorro, no suena.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control
Sí,
Facility.
exactamente. Esto también me lo podía hacer como en versión rápida. A la
The
agradecería.
lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
Stanley solo está
Did he have the strength
pensando
to find out?
en avanzar. Porque había una zona con botones que no toqué y quiero tocarlos. A ver qué pasa.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Sí,
Each bore the
sí,
number of an
sí,
employee in the
sí,
building,
sí, sí,
Stanley's
sí, sí, sí.
co-workers.
Venga.
The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
Ah.
And Stanley, one of them,
Sí, muy bien.
eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Sí, no te estoy ni escuchando. A lo mejor está diciendo algo distinto a la otra vez y no lo
This
estoy haciendo
mind
caso.
control facility, it was too horrible to believe it couldn't
Vamos
be
para
true.
adelante,
Had
panza.
Stanley really been under someone's control all this
Déjenme
time? Was this the
avanzar.
only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Vale, dejo.
No. He refused
No,
to
no lo
believe it.
aceptaré.
He
Nunca
couldn't
aceptaré
accept
nada.
it. His own
De lo que
life
digan.
in someone else's control? Never.
Ya,
It was
muy bien.
unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly
Ciegos.
blind to the world?
Todos ciegos. Claro.
But here
Vale.
was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
¿Movidas?
Happy,
De
or
aquí.
sad, or content. Walking, eating,
Aquí
working.
no me deja
All of it
pasar. A
monitored
lo
and
mejor cuando se
commanded
calle.
from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Ajá. Yo sé que por aquí hay unos botones. Que antes los vi, pero ya no los veo. Esto no se abre. Vale. A ver. Mira, ahí había uno. Y ahí pone 5. Y no sé qué hace. 4, 5. Creo que lo toca 5 veces. Yo por si acaso. Que si voy para allá termino esto. Espérate, ahí hay otro. Ah, ahora aparecen los botones. A ver, 1, 2. ¿Dónde está el 3? ¿Está ahí arriba? No, no puedo subir. Vale. 2. ¿Dónde está el 3? Ese es el 5. Lo toco 2 veces. Lo toco 2 veces. Pero es que tendría que poder subir para ir a ese. No, no puedo subir. ¿Dónde está el 3? ¿Dónde coño está el 3?
Quizás el 3 son los amigos que hiciste en el camino.
Va, mierda. ¿Por aquí? Está más adelante, allí con los otros hombres. No, aquí solo hay 2 botones. ¿Cómo llego ahí? Sácame de sonido. Pero esta mierda no se abre. No sé, no sé. Suena a ver, de esa forma. Vamos a poner que suene de esa forma también el 5. Suena como ahí, de ese. Así tiene que sonar. Vale. ¿Se abre ahora esto? No, gracias. Estoy tocando cosas. No, no funciona. ¡Qué decepción! Decepcionante. Que no hay otra forma de subir. Pues nada, pues vamos a hacer el final de esto. A lo mejor más adelante si me dejan hacerlo. Pues tú, máster, de esta parte ni idea, ¿no?
No exactamente, pero creo que estás olvidando un pequeño detalle. Pero no de aquí, de los botones del frente.
Mira dónde estaba el 3. ¿Ha pasado algo? ¿Ahora que le da el 3? ¿No? Vale. Los botones de enfrente.
Mira, tú sigue para la zona de los botones finales.
Ah. Le doy al 1 entonces. O es lo único que he pensado.
Pues dale al que no le diste antes, o sea. Al de que creo que es on y off.
Sí,
Así que
And
creo
when
que
at
aquí sería
last he
on.
found the source of the... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Oh,
After they
sí.
kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do.
Sí.
You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that.
Yo me esfuerzo.
I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think
ahora
you do.
sí.
For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation
Ah, pero
system.
que hay 3.
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long
Espera.
until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Now this is making
Chachi.
things
Okay.
more
Bien.
Stanley. It's your
Pero
sí,
intenta
turn to
por primero
shine.
desde el
You
primero,
are
porque
the
no sé si
star.
cambia
It's
algo
your
por
story now. Shape it to your
Bueno,
heart.
porque así
ya
de
que-
que lo hayas hecho antes de la
This
cuenta
is
regresiva.
much better than what I had in mind.
Vale.
What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them
Inténtalo desde el
is.
principio.
Uy.
Dico.
More time
Uno.
to talk about you, about
Dos.
me, where we're going.
¡Corre,
What
coño!
this means. I
¡Qué
barely
lento
know
va este
where to
bicho!
start.
No le digas bicho a Stanley.
3.
You'd like to know where your co-workers are.
Corre,
A
corre,
moment of
corre.
solace before you're obliterated.
Corre, 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 señor sin
You're
bigote.
gonna die anyway.
Corre,
I'll
señor
tell you
sin
exactly
bigote.
what happened to them.
¿Por qué le tienes
I
tanto
embraced
rencor por no
them.
tener
I
bigote?
turned off
No lo
the
sé.
machine to set you free. Of course, that
Me lo
was
imaginé
merely
así,
in this
¿vale?
instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your
Corre, el
office
5.
forever, pushing buttons
Como haya un
endlessly
6 le
and then
cagué porque no sé
dying
dónde está.
alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside.
No hizo nada.
Or I let it burn to a crisp.
¡Chachi!
I have to say this, though. This version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and
Espérate.
take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I
¡Ah!
just hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up
Espérate,
with
¿qué
on
dice?
the
¿Qué?
next go
Enfoca la
around
pantalla,
will
¿qué
be
dice?
even
5.
better. My
5
goodness,
verde.
only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much.
3 azul.
You know
A ver,
what?
busca el 3.
The hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not?
Bueno, ese azul no será.
No, pero
Este
3,
azul.
el 3.
Precious additional seconds.
No, el 3.
Time
El
doesn't
3.
grow on
El 3 que es un 3.
Oh, dear
¿Cambia de
me,
color o
what's the
algo?
matter, Stanley?
No.
Is it that you have no idea where you're
Azul.
going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that
Me voy a morir.
timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These number
Corre.
buttons. No, these
Dos morados.
colored
Dos
ones.
morados.
Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me.
Ha sonado ahí
How
algo.
would you think that, Stanley? That this video
Go.
game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
¿Dónde hay un morado? Si no hay morado. Y se ríe el gilipollas.
You're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along.
¡Eh!
It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you
No sé
at
qué
every
estoy
moment that
haciendo.
you're to see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world,
Amarillo,
that's fine. But I'm
azul,
going to destroy it first.
verde.
So
¿Y yo qué coño sé? Ah, toma por
Take a
cola.
look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle.
¡Qué lucha ni qué hostias! Aquí yo ya no sé qué está pasando.
Just you.
No entiendo una merda.
To your friend. Or will you let it go peacefully?
Goodbye.
Another choice. Make it count.
Ya lo que
Or
soy ya.
don't.
Ya se
It's
fue
all the
investigo.
same to me.
Pues voy a explotar.
And believe me, I will be cutting every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after.
¡Pum! ¡Exploté! ¿Quién ha entrado?
El cart.
Ah,
A la carta.
hola acá. Bueno, pues... PT.
Peto.
Sí.